appreciate it.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So I'm going to start off with linear inequalities. A few things before you go on to linear inequalities. You must know what a linear equation is, and you must understand how to prepare or form a linear equation. So we're starting off with linear equations. I'm sure आप सबको आती होगी बनाना, but before we go on to doing the graphical inequalities, let's see if you have the steps. How do you know what y equals to mx plus c is? Anybody who could tell me what y equals to
Sir,
mx?
your mic is quite low. सही से आपकी आवाज़ नहीं आ रही.
Can you hear me now, all of you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Hold on, give me a minute. Can you hear me now properly? Is it better now?
yes,
Now, what is, have you heard of y equals to mx plus c? Yes or no?
yes,
Yes.
So, y equals to mx plus c, m is
Y
defined,
intersect.
intersect नहीं intercept, right, Ali? So, this is
Sorry, sir.
the general form of a linear equation. This is how you represent a linear equation. Anybody who knows what a linear equation is? A linear equation is an equation that has the highest power of 1. So, all these terms have the highest power of 1. Let's say, take an example. Say, if it is y equals to 3x plus 5, the power of y is 1, the power of 3 is 1, the power of x is 1, the power of 5 is 1. So, the highest power you have in this equation is 1. Okay. That is why you call it a linear equation. Okay. Just give me a minute. Yeah, the highest power is 1. That is why you call this a linear equation. I hope all of you are writing this down. Now, how to form a linear equation? Before you start preparing a linear equation, you must understand there are a few steps that you'll have to follow. And the first step is to find out the gradient. And gradient is also known as the slope. All of you, does this line have any slope? This horizontal line, does this have a slope to itself? Slope hai
No.
ya nahi hai? No.
No,
No.
sir.
That is why
So,
horizontal lines will have the gradients as 0. Understood? Whereas vertical lines, that is straight lines running downwards, will always have the gradients undefined. Okay? कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो याद कर लो. These are vertical lines. This line is vertical, and the gradient for vertical lines is undefined. Then, if you have a line sloping upwards this way, we say that the slope is positive, the gradient is positive, and when you have a line sloping downwards like this, the gradient is negative. The formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where y2 minus y1 is change in y and x2 minus x is change in x. This could also be learned as rise over run. We'll talk about this in a minute. Now, the first variety, let's call that case 1. Let's find out gradient for simple 2 pointers, so 2 endpoints. So a is 0 comma 0 and b is 3 comma 5. I want you to find out the gradient of the line. How do you find out the gradient of the line? The formula is y2 minus y1 upon y2 minus y1
X2
upon.
minus X1. X2 minus X1.
Okay, so y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. The first coordinate you have is x1. The second coordinate you have is y1. Uh, then you have x2 and y2. y2 minus y1, can I say it is 5 minus 0 over 3 minus 0?
Yes.
Gradient is 5 over 3. Is this a positive gradient or negative gradient? appears to be a positive
Positive.
gradient. Yes or no? The gradient is 5 over 3. This is how you would diagrammatically represent the first example. Second example, let's say C is 3 and 5 and D is say 4 and 9. Now you'll mark this is x1, this is y1, this is x2 and this is y2, and the gradient would be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to be 9 minus 5, 9 minus 5 over 4 minus 3. 9 minus 5 is what? 4 over 1. So the gradient is 4. Do all of you agree? Is this a positive gradient or a negative gradient?
Positive.
So it's going to be somewhat like this, upward sloping, yes or no? Would look somewhat like this. Right, Ali?
Yes.
Next question, sir. I will not be waiting. There's a lot to teach. Please, all of you, please speed up. Okay. E is a coordinate 4 and 9. And F is a coordinate minus 2 and 0. Now, can you find out the gradient for me? That's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is x1, this is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. y2 minus y1. So it's 0 minus 9 over minus 2 and minus 4. So minus 2 and minus 4. Anybody could tell me the answer, please?
Sir, minus 9 upon minus 6.
And take the minuses away. You get 3 times and 3 2 times. Again, Ali, is the gradient positive or negative?
Sir, positive.
Okay, so that's going to be upward sloping. The graph is going to be like this. Okay. Laika, how are you managing with the phone? The screen is too small. How are you seeing the screen?
Sir, what?
Are you able to see the screen on your phone? Because you're
Yes.
तुम अपने फोन से क्यों आए हुए ऑनलाइन? You don't have a laptop to yourself,
नहीं सर है.
तो फिर यूज नहीं करना.
Sir, there's some issue going with it.
There's an issue going with you as well. Come on, let's find out the gradient. Y2 minus y1. Laika, find out the gradient for me. Y2 minus y1. Yes, Laika. 5
Sir,
minus
5 minus
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 1
1
and then minus 5.
upon minus 5 minus 8.
That's going to be 5 plus 8 and minus 13. That's 6 over minus 13. Now you remember, all of you, I want you to pay attention. You see this sign? Minus ka sign will always and always be carried with the numerator. So it is minus, you will, yes, it is 6 over minus 13. You will write it down as minus 6 over 13. So it stays right in the middle of the fraction or it goes with the numerator. You will always carry it with the numerator. Do you understand this? By the end of the year, when you've grown up enough, I'll give you the logic behind all of this as well. So for now, uh, the minus sign will always be carried with the numerator. Now, Ali, is the gradient positive or negative?
Sir, negative.
It's negative, right? So if it is negative, then it has to be downward sloping. The gradient is minus 6 over 13. Do all of you agree to this point? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Next point. But this is the fourth part, I guess. Fifth part. So I is 2 comma 5 and G is G to over here. J is 2 comma 9. Yes, anybody could help me find out the gradient for this? This is x1, this is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. So gradient is y2 minus y1. That's 9 minus 5. Do all of you agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Y2
Yes.
minus 2. Y x2 minus x1. Now 9 minus 5 is 4 and 2 minus 2 is 0. Can you divide 4 by 0?
No, sir.
No, you cannot. So the gradient is undefined. Understood? Now, whenever you have a 4 over 0 or a 3 over 0, we say that there is no change in x. Yes or no? So if I am to draw this roughly, this is 0. So let's call this 2 and let's call this 5 and then 2 and 9. So 2 and 5 is this point and 2 and 9 is this point. If I draw a line through it, is this a vertical line or a horizontal line?
Vertical.
And vertical lines will never, the gradients are always undefined. You can't define them because you can't solve 4 over 0, right? Next is, do you understand how to find out the gradient now?
Yes.
Last part, please. You have to do this yourself. Yes, please. Can you help me solve this? Now, if I solve all of this, x1 is a, y1 is b square. All of a minus 1 is x2, and all of b minus 2 is y2. Now, what is the formula for gradient? Gradient is y2 minus y1 over
x2 minus
x2
x1.
minus x1. That's going to be y2 minus y1 is going to be b minus 2 in a bracket minus y1, that is b square, and x2 minus x1 is going to be a minus 1 in a bracket minus a. Now let's factorize this. देखते हैं इसको कुछ solve हो रहा है कि नहीं. b minus 2 minus b square over a minus 1 minus a. Can I cancel out the a's? Can you look clearly? Tell me if I can cancel out the a's.
Yes.
Yes, I can. So plus a and minus a gone. Your gradient in terms of b is minus b square plus b minus 2. What do you think?
Yes. Sir, मगर it's upon -1.
Upon minus 1? Ali says it's upon minus 1. Is he correct, sir? So if you are to shift this negative sign upwards, you change every sign in the numerator. So you have a minus here, this becomes a plus b square. You have a plus here, this becomes a minus b. And you have a minus here, it becomes a plus 2. Do all of you understand this?
Yes.
Minus b, not minus b square.
Sorry. Understood, boys and girls? This was
Yes.
Yes.
one way of finding out the gradient. The second case for gradients, okay? I hope all of you copying this down because there's a lot to do. And online classes are, anyways, very difficult to conduct. Ali, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, case 2. Now, by looking at this, you will have to, I will give you equations and you will have to identify the value for gradient and for the y-intercept, okay? So, let's assume, let's say that y equals to 3x plus 2. You need to understand for case 2, the gradient will be the coefficient of x. It will be the coefficient of x given that there's a conditionally is given that the coefficient of y is 1. The coefficient of y is 1 and y is made the subject of the formula. I hope all of you are writing this down. This is very important stuff, sir. Now, what is the coefficient of y? The coefficient of y is 1. Satisfies our condition. What is the coefficient of x then? 3. Then this 3 is going to be my gradient. Can you, all of you, can you relate this highlighted equation with y equals to mx plus c? What is the coefficient of y? That's 1 here. What is the coefficient of x? If the coefficient of y is 1 and y is the subject of the formula, that is the subject of the equation, then the number, letter, fraction, whatever attached to x, that is the coefficient of x, is going to be your gradient, right? And c is the constant, it is also the y-intercept, and y-intercept is the point where the graph will cut the y-axis. मैं लिख देता हूँ ये point where the graph intersects the y-axis. Sorry. Now, all of you, before we go on to solving more questions, if I ask you just a concept on y-intercept, if I ask you to tell me the y-intercept here, the y-intercept is the point where the line, your graph, cuts the y-axis, and I guess in this case it is
3.
3. So
3.
C is 3. And this point here, let's say is 4. This point here is going to be your x-intercept. This is going to be your x-intercept. And you represent x-intercepts with A. Sorry, A is 4. Sorry, my bad. Understood? Now, Mr. Ali, let's start. Say question number 1. You have to find out, you have to write down the gradient and you have to find out the y-intercept. Okay, by looking at the equation. The first way was to apply the formula y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. The second is to find out the gradient using the equation. So identify a gradient and identify the y-intercept and then a graphical representation भी बनानी है. So make 3 columns please. You should have an idea whether the line is a positive gradient or a negative gradient. Okay.
Sir,
आवाज
I
अब
have a
सही आ रही
question.
है? Yes, go ahead.
सर जो आपने ग्राफ बनाया है वो आपने y is equal to 3x plus 2 का बनाया है?
नहीं. Just a general representation
Okay.
of y-intercepts and x-intercepts. मैं लिख भी देता हूँ उसके ऊपर so that you're not confused. और अगर शेरोज अगर ये y equals to 3x plus 2 का होता so it would have had a positive gradient, right? And if it is having a positive gradient, it has to be an upward sloping graph. This graph that I've drawn is actually a downward sloping graph. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. That's why I was confused.
Yeah. Ready, all of you? Let's do a few questions. I'm recording this as well. It's going to end in what, 5 minutes? 3 minutes to be exact. Let's do 2 questions and then rejoin again. Okay, you will be rejoining. I'll tell you when to. Okay. Question number 1. Say y equals to 4x minus 5. Anybody who could identify the gradient for me? Is y the subject? Yes, sir. Is the coefficient of y 1? Yes, sir. You
4.
understand the 2 conditions. If
Mm.
these conditions are met, then whatever is attached to x is your gradient. It's a positive 4. And the y-intercept. Anybody could tell me the y-intercept? With the
Minus
sign
5.
is minus
Minus
5.
5.
If I am to represent this graphically, it's going to be, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. It's just a estimated graphical representation. You're not plotting it, you're sketching this out. ये sketch है, ये graph plot नहीं हो रहा. A sketch will always be an estimate. So it's a positive gradient, has to be an all of you. If it's a positive gradient, it has to be an upward sloping graph. Yes or no, Laika?
Yes.
And if it's an upward sloping graph that has a y-intercept of minus 5, you need to understand कि y-intercept minus 5 का है, so it has to be on the negative side of the y-axis. I'm just going to draw it for all of you. Let's see if you're able to make sense of this. This is a sketch. I'm telling you time and again, it's a sketch. It is not the exact plot. Can I say that this is -5? Do all of you agree?
Yes, sir.
And can I say that this gradient has, this line has a positive gradient because it is upward sloping? Do all of you understand this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Yes.
good, fair enough. Uh, Now let's move on to the next one. Next question number 2 is y equals to -3x plus 2. Anybody who could identify the gradient for me? Gradient is, you have to follow the conditions first. The first condition is that y has to be the subject and the coefficient of y is 1. These two conditions are all, they're the same conditions, because when you make y the subject of the formula, there will be nothing attached to y, nothing at all. Understood? That makes the coefficient of y which is 1. So दोनों conditions एक ही चीज़ है, but हम अलग अलग बोल के आपको सिखाते रहेंगे. जब बड़े हो जाओगे तो you'll definitely understand. Can I say that the gradient then is going to be -3? Yes or no?
Yes.
And the y-intercept is going to be
2.
Yes or no? Let's just quickly draw this and rejoin. Okay. If it's a negative gradient, it has to slope downwards. Ali, do you agree? And it
Yes.
has to cut the y-axis at +2.
-3.
No, it has to
Oh,
cut it
sorry.
at +2. And this is y and this is x. And the gradient is negative. Understood?